Nilabistado na nga kung ano ang totoong relasyon ni na Senator Amy Marcos at former President Rodrigo Duterte. Ito nga ay matapos lumabas sa ilang pahayagan na di umano'y may espesyal na relasyon ang dalawa. Nalaman na din ng Quadcom ang lahat-lahat tungkol sa EJK kung saan sangkot pa ang ilang senador. Narito panoorin ang video.
Related to the extrajudicial killings. Including, of course, the issue where Police Colonel Hector Grijaldo is involved. No? And with that, we'd like to call on the first interpellator, Congresswoman Pami Zamora. You have 10 minutes. You are now recognized.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair. Good afternoon to my colleagues. Colonel Grijaldo, good afternoon po. Colonel Grijaldo, simulan ko lang po nung dati po kasi nag-a-attend ka naman dito, pero may time na
Mr. Chairman, point of information lang po.
With the indulgence of
Yes.
Congresswoman Zamora. Yes, what is the point of information?
Since the good gentle lady will be starting to ask Colonel Hector Grijaldo, this representation wish to inform this committee that we will be inhibiting ourselves.
Yes.
Together, ourselves, not together with, I think, tayo, na, to ask question. And at the same time, we can also be asked by the members of this committee. Surely, meron tong involvement sa mga nangyari for the resource person not attending our mga hearings. So, yun lamang po ang gusto ko natin ipalam na we are willing to answer questions na ibabato rin po ng ating mga members of this committee. Maraming salamat po, Mr.
Thank you, Congressman Fernandez. Yes, Congressman Abante.
I second the motion.
Okay, so we just would like to inform the members that you can also propound questions directed to our co-chairs of the committee in relation to the issue of EJK and in relation to the issue of Colonel Grijaldo's previous statement before this committee and before the Senate committee. So,
And Mr. Chairman, we're willing to go down and to vacate our seat in here.
may we
so
ask
most
you
likely
to
we'll be
please
sitting
occupy
down
the seats in front of the chair? So
Mr.
that,
Thank you,
we
Mr.
can,
Chairman.
see you
Mr.
eye to
Chair.
eye. Now,
Do we
thank
need
you.
to ask them to take their whole minute?
Before that, can we, Comsec, did Colonel Grijaldo take his oath in the previous hearings already? You already took your oath. So, there's no need to administer the oath of Colonel Grijaldo. He has taken his oath in the previous hearing. So, may we ask both co-chairs, Congressman Abante and Congressman Dan Fernandez, to occupy the seat in front of this table.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Congressman Acop.
point of clarification.
Yes, please proceed.
Since our two chairmen already moved that questions should be asked from them, may we request that they also take the oath? And may I know whether we can cite them in contempt if they're found lying? Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Well, thank you, Congressman Acop. Let me inform the Honorable Congressman Abante and Fernandez that since you will be one of the resource persons in this hearing today, any member who find you not cooperative or evading questions from this representation and others, there is no prohibition under our rules that we cannot cite you in contempt. So let that be let it be on record, Your Honors. Now,
Point of clarification.
Are you
Point-
comfortable in that?
Yeah,
seat,
yes, yes, sir.
Okay.
Point of clarification,
Yes, what
Mr.
is
Chairman.
the clarification?
May I be
I think, Mr. Chair,
informed?
of
sorry,
order.
I think the witness
I still have the
The
floor.
resource person now has to wait to be recognized.
Mr. Chairman,
Yeah,
I was recognized, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
No, really, no joke. What this representation wanted to find out kung what provision of the rules contain yung pong pagte-take po ng oath ng member of this committee who wanted to be a part of the as resource person.
Mr. Chairman.
Okay, I will wait, hold your horses, gentlemen. Let me ask Congressman Acop to answer that query of Congressman Dan Fernandez.
Mr. Chair, I think the two distinguished gentlemen were the ones who volunteered to become resource persons. We did not require them to become resource persons. And therefore, when they volunteered to become resource persons, then our rules regarding resource persons must apply. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
I agree, Mr.
So I hope that is clear to the gentleman from Laguna. No further questions will be entertained by the chair.
Mr. Chair,
From you, but from Congressman
may
Abante.
I
yes.
request that if you will be cited in contempt, that I would be arrested in my own room, Mr. Chair.
That is
I
noted.
confine my
That-
own room. That's my request, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Congressman Abante. Comsec, please take note of the request of Congressman Abante and Congressman Fernandez. Yes.
So,
now we will now proceed.
So with the explanation of the Vice Chairperson, Romy Acop, this representation submit to the decision of this committee. Maraming salamat po.
Okay. Thank you, Congressman Fernandez.
May we
for
have our
your-
oath now, Mr. Chair?
Makabawi na rin kami nito.
Okay. Comsec, please administer the oath of the two distinguished gentlemen, members of the honor of this 19th Congress.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this congressional inquiry? So God may help you. Sir, the oath has been administered.
Thank you, Comsec. Thank you, Congressman Fernandez and Congressman Abante. Now we will proceed with the interpellation of Congresswoman Pami Zamora. You have 10 minutes.
Once again, good afternoon, Mr. Chair, and I'd like to also greet our two new resource persons. Welcome to the committee. Ang tatanungin ko ngayon, Mr. Chair, I'd like to address my questions kay Colonel Grijaldo. Colonel Grijaldo, natatandaan ko dati nung nag-attend ka pa dito at nabigyan pa yung committee ng pagkakataon na matanong ka, sinabi mo na nung June 28, 2016, ay nag-attend ka ng isang meeting sa DPWH building kasama ang classes 1996 and 1997 ng PNPA. Tama po ba yun?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, kasama mo dito sa meeting na to, Mr. Chair, si Colonel Reyna Garma. Tama po ba yun, Mr. Chair?
Nandoon po si Colonel Garma, Your Honor.
Mr. Chair, gusto ko lang tanungin, bakit sa Davao ang naging meeting? Bakit sa Davao ginanap ang meeting na to?
I don't know, Your Honor.
You don't know, but I think you know. Because ang nagpatawag ba ng meeting na ito, tama ba, ay si former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte?
I don't know the circumstances that time, Your Honor, who made the arrangement of the meeting, Your Honor.
So why did you attend a meeting that you didn't know the circumstances of?
Yes, Your Honor, I was having my schooling.
No, I'm
officers.
asking you, bakit ka mag-a-attend ng isang meeting na hindi mo naman alam sino ang nagpa-meeting at kung ano ang pakay ng meeting?
Your Honor, allow me to give my premise on the circumstances.
All right.
It happens while we were on our schooling at Mintal, Davao City. And during the time, Colonel Garma and some other of my classmates, Colonel Belela and all other Class 97 were undergoing a officer's senior executive course that time. And there was some talks among the officers that there will be a gathering on that place. So that's the only thing that we know that time.
All right. And so I'd like to ask, in this meeting, was the former president present?
I have seen the president that time, Your Honor.
I have seen the president at that time. And June 28, 2016, that would be 2 days bago siya manumpa para maging presidente natin. And that would be 3 days before he would assume office. Tama po ba yon?
I could not recall, Your Honor,
Mr. Chair, ano ulit yung natatandaan ko yung campaign slogan dati ni PRRD? It was very, alam nating lahat yon. Ang campaign slogan niya ay "Change is coming." Colonel Grijaldo, ano ba yung sinasabing change ni former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte? Di ba yung change na yon ay to reduce the crime rate, to reduce criminal activity in the country? Am I correct?
I don't know the political agenda at the time of the election, Your Honor.
And in fact, on his very, very last political rally before he won the presidency, there is a very famous quote na, in fact, kumalat siya hanggang sa international news outlets. Sa BBC, nandun nakasulat, sinabi ni former PRRD, "Forget the laws on human rights. If I make it to the presidential palace, I will do what I did as mayor. You drug pushers, hold up men and do nothings. You better go out because I'd kill you," he said at his final campaign rally. "I dump all of you into Manila Bay and fatten all the fish there." Narinig mo po ba to, Colonel Grijaldo?
No, Your Honor. That time I was busy on our schooling because it takes 1 year for us to finish the executive course.
And as confirmed by the former president himself, ginawa niya to, kasi dun sa quote na yon na binanggit ko, sinasabi niya, I will do just what I did as mayor. And kinonfirm niya many times na ginawa niya to gamit yung tinatawag niyang Davao Death Squad. Itong grupo na to, na same group na sinasabi ng isang taong nagngangalang Edgar Matubato na naging parte siya. He said that in the Senate. Tama po ba?
Di ko po alam yung circumstances nung kay Matubato, Your Honor.
And this is the same subject also na naging ng affidavit ng isang taong nagngangalang Arturo Las Cañas na umamin ng existence ng DDS, pati na rin sa pagiging former DDS leader niya. And this is the same DDS, Colonel Las Cañas, na tinutukoy ni PRRD sa Senate committee hearing na dinaluhan mo. Am I correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And nung sinabi nga niya na I will do just what I did as mayor, ito ay, ang pinatutungkulan niya dito, yung tinatawag na Davao template. Am I correct?
I could not remember what he has stated during the Senate hearing, Your Honor.
And bilang ating Pangulo, siya yung Commander-in-Chief ng Philippine National Police. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And in place of the Davao Death Squad, to implement what he said would be his war on drugs, ginamit niya yung PNP, which in my humble opinion is a very great alternative considering na our policemen are not only very well trained but are better equipped to further the cause, to lessen the crime rates in the country. Tama ba?
I could not confirm or deny that statement, Your Honor.
And bilang member ng Philippine National Police, do you confirm that during his presidency, ito yung naging focus ng kanyang term? Yung pagpapababa ng crime rate sa ating bansa, ng criminality.
It was his policy, Your Honor.
And ayon sa testimony rin ni Colonel Ray Nagarma, I believe it was the September 27 hearing, this was the reason kung bakit siya nagpatawag ng meeting doon sa DPWH building sa Davao noong June 28, 2016. For our viewers, mababasa naman natin yung naging conversation ni Chairman Paduano at ni Colonel Ray Nagarma. Dito, inaamin niya na ang napag-usapan doon ay yung Davao template. Having said that, Mr. Chair, ikaw, Colonel Grijaldo, hindi ka sumang-ayon dito. Dahil sabi mo, in the same hearing, nung ikaw na yung tinatanong, sinabi mo na you could not confirm the statement ni Colonel Garma. Am I correct? In fact, I think we can also show the same, the conversation that occurred in that hearing.
Yes, Your Honor. It was not been discussed during the time.
Sinabi mo na you cannot confirm, sabi mo, I could not confirm that, Mr. Chair, na napag-usapan yon.
Yes, Your Honor.
Pero tama ba na inaamin mo na nandun ka sa meeting na yon, Colonel Grijaldo?
It's not a meeting, Your Honor. I was
It's
there
a
just
bonding?
to be present together with my classmates, Your Honor.
So what do we call it?
That was a courtesy call, Your Honor, where we're
Courtesy call.
called together with some of the officers.
Okay.
But we don't know what is the topic for that meeting or a gathering, Your Honor.
So having said that, it's either one of two things, Mr. Chair. Either A, kasi hindi naman pwedeng parehas kayo nagsisinungaling ni Colonel Garma. Sinabi ni Colonel Garma na yun ang napag-usapan, sinasabi mo na hindi yun ang napag-usapan or hindi mo ma-confirm na yun ang napag-usapan. So para sa akin, it's either one of two things. Una, napag-usapan yung Davao template, pero wala ka doon nung napag-usapan yon. Or pangalawa, Mr. Chair, ay nandun ka nung pinag-usapan yung Davao template, pero ayaw mo aminin, kaya sinasabi mo na you cannot confirm this statement because you are under oath, and you still are under oath, and you didn't want to perjure yourself. Am I correct?
No, Your Honor. That's the facts that really happened that time that I witnessed, Your Honor.
So, sino sa inyo ni Colonel Garma yung nagsasabi ng totoo?
I will not confirm nor deny the statement of Colonel Garma, Your Honor.
Parang di ako nasagot. Pero, Mr. Chair, inaamin mo, nakakilala mo si Colonel Garma.
Yes, Your Honor. She was my classmate in the academy, and we've been assigned in the Region 11.
Okay, if we take, kung tinatanggap natin yung sagot mo na you cannot confirm if that conversation happened, and Colonel Garma confirms that the conversation happened, bilang malapit kayo ni Colonel Garma and considering na very, very critical yung pag-implement ng Davao template nationwide, hindi nyo man lang napag-usapan ba to ni Colonel Garma? Hindi ba yun parang contrary to human experience na hindi nyo siya napag-usapan? Hindi ba kayo parating magkasama ni Colonel Garma?
We have that relationship, Your Honor. Magkaklase kami. But we are professionals and we talk just the matters within the bounds of our profession as police officer, Your Honor.
Pero 'di ba so that was June 28, 2016. I remember in a hearing many months back, napag-usapan yung matagal nating naging topic yung tungkol kila Jimmy Fortaleza. 'Di ba dinalaw niyo siya ng July 2016 sa Davao Penal Colony? Tama ba 'yon? I remember everyone was confirming that visit.
Yes, Your Honor. I confirm that we were there to visit Major Fortaleza, Your Honor.
And it was only a few months after that visit na papatayin yung 3 Chinese drug lords under the actions nila Colonel Garma, ni Padilla, si Leonardo, and according to them, they were taking direct orders from no less than the former president himself. Hindi po ba ang naging simula ng Davao Template, Mr. Chair, ay yung pinag-usapan sa meeting nyo noong June 28, 2016?
I'm not in privy, Your Honor, what were the discussion between Major Fortaleza and Colonel Garma at that time when we visited him at Dapicol, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Chair, it seems that, as evasive as our witness wants to be, I would like to manifest that apart from his history, his long-standing history with Colonel Garma, there are really several instances which would put them in the same places and events which is further evidence of their close work and personal relation. We've also confirmed, Mr. Chair, na una, si Colonel Grijaldo was indeed in attendance sa meeting sa DPWH building noong June 28, 2016. And because of his attendance in this meeting, kahit pa i-deny ni Colonel Grijaldo ito, he was indeed part of the planning of the nationwide implementation of this Davao model, or what we all know as the war on drugs. With this, Mr. Chair, I didn't want to take up all of my time. I yield to the next interpellator. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Congresswoman Zamora. The next interpellator is Congressman Zia Adyong. You are recognized. You have 10 minutes.
Mr. Chair, I yield to my good friend, the gentleman from Cagayan de Oro, Congressman Lordan. I'll be asking my question later on. I yield my time to Congressman Lordan, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Congressman Suwan, you are now recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Colonel Grijaldo.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Di ba ang lokal po na police ang may responsibilidad na to maintain the peace in their area of jurisdiction?
Yes, Your Honor.
Which means that they have to be familiar with the place where they are assigned in order for them to be effective, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
And which means that if anything happens in your area of jurisdiction, you have to be the one to investigate, just like what happened to the assassination of Colonel Barayuga, correct?
Yes, Your Honor, but there is a responsible investigation on case, Your Honor, to respond or to conduct investigation in event there is a crime incident, Your Honor.
So, as to the assassination of Barayuga, you were the one who is primarily responsible for investigating it. Is it not correct?
As part of my command responsibility, Your Honor, I'll take on supervision on my investigator on case for that demise of police.
I'm sorry, you were the lead investigator?
There is a designated investigation on case, Your Honor. And I'm only supervising, and I could not intervene or influence my investigator on case for that incident, Your Honor.
So you mean to say that you are still the supervisor of the investigator of that case?
No, there is a we have a organizational chart, Your Honor, and there is a chief of investigation who is sole responsible on all the personnel under his supervision, which is the investigator on case or all investigator under his unit, Your Honor. And overall, in the police station, I am the police supervisor as the chief of police of that place, Your Honor.
When were you appointed as chief of police of Mandaluyong City?
July, on the month of July in that time, Your Honor, 2021 or 2021, Your Honor.
So you were already the chief of police during the assassination of Barayuga?
Yes, Your Honor.
How is this investigation started? How do you, such an assassination like what happened with Mr. Barayuga, how is the investigation started? Ano yung proseso po?
Yes, Your Honor. There was a radio call that there was a shooting incident that happened in that place. Immediately thereafter, we dispatched our personnel to conduct yung investigation or to go after of the to those perpetrators of the incident. I was in that place. I responded in that place also, Your Honor, and naabutan ko na lang, Your Honor, yung pick-up tsaka yung isang victim on the passenger side, but the driver side was already evacuated as per the witnesses in that place, Your Honor. I myself immediately also go to look for any evidence or any thing that na baka may CCTV doon sa lugar, and we called up immediately yung SOCO para ma-preserve yung crime scene, Your Honor. Yun po yung ginawa namin that time, Your Honor.
So can you repeat again who handled the investigation?
The duty investigator during that time, it was Police Executive Master Sergeant Punsalan, Your Honor.
And Police Executive Master Sergeant Punsalan reports to you as the Chief of Police.
What do you mean?
I mean that Punsalan is the investigator, correct?
Yes, Your Honor. Immediately, pag dinispatch po natin kasi yung investigator natin, he will do his job as an investigator. And immediately, we have the duty officer. It was during that time, Your Honor, it was a COVID that time. And most of our personnel and the same, I myself was staying at the police station. I live in the police station that time. So, nakapag-responde kami, and we have this duty SDO, Police Captain Villarta, who also taking charge to do his job that time. And after gathering some information, what transpired immediately was for us to make a spot report. Just 5/8 and 5W and 1/8 muna yung ginagawa natin. Just to, there is a timeline that we are beating in the Camp Crame, lalo na pagka mga high crimes. We need to have at least within 1 hour we can make a report, a spot report on 5W and 1/8 only statement. Then we do the progress report, Your Honor, depending on the progress of the investigation, Your Honor, done by the IOC, Your Honor, on the investigator on case, Your Honor.
Yes, but as the Chief of Police of Mandaluyong City, would it be correct to say that the buck stops with you? Which means na ikaw yung may final word may final word sa investigation?
No, Your Honor. What the investigator have done, or ginawa niya, Your Honor, yung ginawa niya yung report, kung ano yung niya, Your Honor, yun yung statement, Your Honor. I could not influence or give or to influence doon sa statement na gagawin niya. Kasi it will not make, or we cannot
Pero
give justice doon sa investigation
Colonel
natin,
Grijaldo,
Your Honor.
paano ito natapos tong investigation na to?
Your Honor,
Sinong
on that
nagpasya
day-
na itigil yung investigation?
no, Your Honor, allow me, Your Honor, to elaborate further dun sa nangyari during the the incident happened July 30. On the next day, nagkaroon na ho tayo, sir, ng immediately thereafter, there is a creation of a Special Investigation Task Group, or SITG, which is to unearth yung mga other evidences, or sino yung madidiscover natin kung sino yung perpetrators that time of the incident. But nagkaroon ng consensus or consolidated effort with the district unit. So ang nag-assume ng overall control ng investigation is the SITG, Your Honor. And that time, I was just only a member of the SITG, Your Honor.
So yung nangyari, parang napunta na yung investigation sa SITG instead of sa iyo.
It's not me, Your Honor, to do the investigation. Just only the IOC, Your Honor, who is responsible. At the same time, Your Honor, it was carried on the SITG group. The investigator that time on the incident, the same investigator being appointed on the SITG, Your Honor.
Pero di ba ikaw yung office nyo yung nagsimula ng investigation, so pagkatapos nun, pinasa sa SITG or sa CIDG?
Pinasa namin, Your Honor, kung ano yung initial nagawa naming investigation. And the CIDG was then also a part of the SITG, Your Honor. The composition of the SITG is the IOC of the station, I myself also a member, the D7 or the DIDM, the District Investigation Detective Management Unit, the CIDG, the SOCO, the overall chair of the SITG, Your Honor, was the district operation, DRDO, we call it the DDO, Your Honor, Deputy for Operation, Your Honor.
So Colonel, kahit ikaw po yung nagsimula ng investigation,
Yes, Your Honor.
you were not the one who finished the investigation. That's what you're saying?
Yes, Your Honor. It was because in SITD, Your Honor, there is a need to compose and to comply within the period of 6 months. If it is not been
Pero
sold,
tingin ko po, Colonel, na parang agad-agad na transfer yung investigation sa SITG. Is this correct?
no, Your Honor, it was the district director who take cognizance of the incident, Your Honor. So as just a station commander, Your Honor, I yield to the wisdom of the district director.
So
that time,
you're
Your Honor.
saying that you did not terminate the investigation, but you yielded the investigation instead to the SITG.
The time, yes, Your Honor, there is a continuing effort on the station. I myself, together with other police officer, I give them tasks also to do some efforts. Like I send them to take some affidavits of the security guard on PCSO, the personnel working with General Barayuga and other witnesses, the vehicle that bumped the
So,
that was
Colonel,
bumped
you're
the
saying
pickup
that
time, Your Honor.
with all of these resources that are in your hands or within your reach, binitawan mo pa rin yung investigation at binigay sa SITG.
I mean, Your Honor, hindi naman ibig sabihin binitawan. Ibig sabihin, we just give the district the opportunity or for us to have a better in the conduct of investigation, Your Honor, mapabuti kasi ang effort nun marami ng unit
Kasi
hindi
sa
lang
tingin
yung
ko,
station. So mas mapapabuti po natin na masolve po yung problema, Your Honor, yung crime na nangyari.
normal po ba na, do you usually do this, Colonel, na yung may mga high-profile cases like this one, binibigay agad sa CIDG or sa SITG?
Yes, Your Honor, there is a, in the PNP operational manual, there is a creation of SITG. Every time incidents involving, may mga high crimes, Your Honor, assassination,
Kasi,
or
sa tingin ko po,
terrorism,
parang
or whatever.
this is very concerning because parang pinapasa mo yung trabaho nyo na dapat ikaw yung gumawa, especially this investigation into the murder of Barayuga. I think that's irregular, Colonel Grijaldo. And gaya ng sinabi mo kanina, yung mga local police yung nasa pinakamagandang position to investigate crimes such as this because they are the ones with the most familiarity with the area. And now you're saying that it is normal procedure for you to just pass it on to the SITG. I find this really concerning and baka may personal na interest ka kung bakit ma-terminate agad yung investigation regarding sa pagpaslang kay Barayuga. Ayon sa PNP National Police, sa Philippine National Police Internal Affairs Service, may ongoing investigation ba regarding this sa pagpatay kay Barayuga? IAS?
Your Honor, we've been charged before the Internal Affairs Unit.
So you were charged
Yes, Your
by
Honor.
the IAS?
Yes, Your Honor. We have a administrative complaint for us, Your Honor. I have here with me the charge sheet. Administrative complaint against Police Colonel Grijaldo for neglect of duty, irregularity in the performance of duty, misconduct, incompetence, conduct unbecoming of police officers. We already submitted our counter affidavit on this incident, Your Honor.
When was that case filed by the Internal Affairs Service of the PNP?
We made to do the counter affidavit, Your Honor, last September, Your Honor.
Would you agree with me that the Internal Affairs Service would not have filed this case kung wala naman silang makikitang o nakitang anomalous or irregular activity during the investigation, di ba?
Hindi ko naman ma-question yung ang function ng IAS, Your Honor. So it has the rightful job din ng IAS to conduct investigation and make charges on all personnel who being involved in that incident, Your Honor.
Colonel Grijaldo, are you also under restrictive custody? And were you relieved from your post from the PDEG, PNP Drug Enforcement Group, because of the anomalies uncovered during the investigation?
No, Your Honor, I was still with the PDEG that time. And
that time when the Internal Affairs Service filed this administrative complaint against you, you were still with the PDEG.
Yes, Your Honor.
How about now? Are you still with the PDEG?
We are not on a restrictive custody, Your Honor. It is a administrative. We still reporting to the PHAW, Your Honor. It is a admin holding unit, Your Honor. Ang kinuha lang po sa amin na ano, Your Honor, is that we don't have a position to perform, Your Honor.
At ang mga... So would it be correct to say that you are being investigated right now by the IAS?
Yes, Your Honor. We have submitted already our counter affidavit, Your Honor. And
tapos ang reason siguro ng IAS ay dahil mayroon kayong pinagtatakpan. Is that correct? Is that one of the reasons for this investigation by the IAS?
hindi ko po hindi po ako pwedeng mag-assume dun sa investigation. I-preempt natin yung investigation ng IAS, Your Honor, because they are still conducting on the liability on the those personnel being investigated on this case, Your Honor.
Colonel Grijaldo, kilala mo, do you know Colonel David Puklay?
Yes, Your Honor.
At nung nakaraang Quadcom hearing, parehas kayong tinanong tungkol sa investigation regarding sa assassination ni Barayuga. Is that correct?
Just I could not remember, Your Honor.
Do you remember that you were asked regarding the findings of the SITG? Nung sa last na Quadcom hearing, do you remember na may tinanong sa'yo regarding sa findings sa SITG?
Your Honor, hindi ko na matandaan, Your Honor, kung natanong po ako regarding do sa result ng SITG. Because as far as I know, Your Honor, the investigation conducted by the SITG was turned over to CIDG, Your Honor, after a period of 6 months, Your Honor.
Do you remember na yung tinanong ka tungkol sa mga natuklasan yung posibleng motibo, ang sagot mo noon ay dalawa lang ang natuklasan yung motibo, di ba? Na work-related or personal grudge. Do you remember that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Kindly wrap up, Congressman So.
During the last Quadcom hearing, hindi mo man lang binanggit na meron palang alegasyon na sangkot ng droga, allegedly, si Mr. Barayuga.
Yes, Your Honor. I could not confirm that he was involved in the or in the drug list, Your Honor. Yung sinasabi po natin, Your Honor, na kung yung knowledge lang po namin, Your Honor, sa Intel, just confined within our area of jurisdiction, Your Honor.
Yung sa investigation report nyo that you submitted, did you include the fact that Mr. Barayuga was part of the watch list, part of the drugs watch list?
Hindi ko na po ano yung napag-usapan doon, Your Honor, doon sa wrapping up or the nung karoon na ng Your Honor, yung resolution yung SITG, I was already relieved as Chief of Police of Mandaluyong, Your Honor.
Mr. Chair.
Just a manifestation, Mr. Chair, because based on this interpellation, it would seem that the witness has a propensity to withhold crucial information, and he always claims that he has no knowledge of the matter, notwithstanding the fact that there is evidence to controvert his statements. And ito ay nakakabahala at posible namang maging hadlang sa ating investigasyon kasi gusto lang talaga natin yung katotohanan. No more questions, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Congressman Suwan.
Mr. Chairman.
DSJJ, I just would like to ask a very short question to Colonel Grijaldo. In relation to the questions asked by Congressman Suwan, doon ba sa investigasyon nyo, you were the Chief of Police ng Mandaluyong when the Barayuga assassination happened, correct?
Yes, sir.
And base sa inyong investigasyon sa nangyaring yon, ano ang posibleng motibo sa pagpatay kay kay General Barayuga?
Your Honor, hindi na nga po ako na-discuss during the ng SITG report because I was not already that time.
On whose
in there.
orders the SITG was formed? Is it the Chief of Police or somebody higher than you?
On the district level, Your Honor.
So and who was that?
The district director, Your Honor.
And he was the district director at that time.
Just I could not remember the...
Imposible naman, Colonel, hindi mo matandaan yung immediate superior mo.
Just I'll check, Your Honor.
Check. I'll give you 30 seconds. Please check.
Yes, Your Honor. Check ko lang, Your Honor.
No, hindi naman kapani-paniwala na hindi mo matandaan kung sino yung superior mo. If you're trying to cover up for someone, do it in the most professional way, so to speak. I don't know if there is really a professional way to do that, but there is some semblance of cover-up.
The letter order number 1657, the subject matter is the composition of SITG regarding Wesley Barayuga. It was by the command of Police Brigadier General Almasan, Your Honor.
General Almasan.
Yes, Your Honor.
Pagka sinabi bang district director which covers the area of Mandaluyong, ito ba ay part of the NCR?
Yes, Your
So,
Honor. Pamarisan, Your Honor. Pasig, Marikina, Eastern po, sir. Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
Eastern. And that time, the
Taguig.
Eastern Police District Director was General
Almasan, Your Honor.
Almasan.
Opo, Your Honor.
Siya nag-order na mag-create ng SITG.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, did you not conduct an immediate initial investigation on that assassination incident that happened within your area of jurisdiction? Wala ka bang ginawang investigasyon?
Nag-conduct din po kami ng investigation, Your Honor. We were able to get affidavits of those duty that time in PCSO. I was able to extract the CCTV on the fronting the crime scene, Your Honor.
So, what is shown on TV yung sa side
Yeah, Your
So
Honor.
you have
There was
another-
an establishment, Your Honor.
Meron kang another video.
Ano, Your Honor? It was only the CCTV that time on the establishment on the side, Your Honor.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what was the finding? What was your findings in your initial investigation?
Yung inano namin, Your Honor, yung perpetrators, Your Honor, sinundan namin yun, binaktrack din namin, umabot hanggang dun sa Guadalupe, yung CCTV ng MMDA, Your Honor. We have taken also CCTV from
And,
MMDA.
What was the conclusion of your, what were your findings? Anong findings nyo? Anong motibo sa pagpatay sa kanya?
We were on the personal grudge, Your Honor, and work-related, Your Honor, that time na-establish namin. Then it was forwarded, Your Honor. It was taken by the SITG already in the
Did you
district
put
level.
in your report that he was involved in the drugs, or was he involved in the drugs watch list? Did you put that in your report?
Just I could not remember, Your Honor, if it was put on record or on the investigation report done by the investigator or the IOC, Your Honor.
Sige, I'll give the floor, yield the floor to
Chairman.
DSJJ first and then Congressman Adyong. Yes, DSJJ.
Congressman Adyong, okay lang. This will be very short lang. Mr. Chairman, I just want to ask for clarification. Why are our two chairmen serving as resource persons to our discussions regarding Colonel Grijaldo? Is it because a certain incident happened?
The both Chairman Abante and Chairman Dan Fernandez voluntarily volunteers to be a resource person with regards to the incident that happens allegedly as a
To tell truth, but nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Correct. Sinabi niyo po doon na hindi po kayo magsisinungaling at pawang katotohanan lamang po ang ibabahagi po ninyo doon sa hearing.
Yes, Your Honor.
Naalala niyo po ba ang sinumpaang salaysay na binasa ninyo doon sa hearing na yon?
Yes, Your Honor. I will stand by my statement in the Senate under oath, Your Honor. And I would like to invoke my right for self-incrimination, Your Honor.
Okay. Although that right is not absolute, Colonel Grijaldo, insofar as those statements were said under oath and minutes of the Senate are public documents. In fact, ang dami pong nakapanood nun. So, we will take your statement as what it is.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Ngayon, ang nakakabahala po doon sa bahagi po ninyo, Colonel Grijaldo, ay naibahagi po ninyo doon sa statement ninyo na meron pong 2 miyembro ng mababang kapulungan ay di umano ay inudyok ka, kinausap ka, at para pang tinatakot ka na magsabi ng mga bagay tungkol sa issue ng EJK sa Pilipinas. Tama po ba yun?
Your Honor, I would like to stand by my statement in the Senate under oath, Your Honor, and I would like to invoke my right for self-incrimination, Your Honor.
Okay, but you have already stated your statement. So, Comsec, meron po ba tayong kopya nung affidavit ni Colonel Grijaldo?
Your Honor, I apologize, we have not secured a copy of...
But I think the very resourceful Chairman Acop will allow me to... Thank you very much. So, anyway, Colonel Grijaldo, meron po akong kopya ng affidavit nyo. At ito naman po ay pinaninindigan po ninyo. Tama po?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Maraming salamat. Dito po sa number 7 ng inyong sinumpang salaysay, sinabi po ninyo dito, when I entered the end room, I saw 2 lawyers of Colonel Garma standing inside the room. One of the lawyers approached me and then asked me what we were going to talk about. And I said that I do not know. Number 8, after a while, Congressman Dan Fernandez entered the room and he asked me to sit beside him on the right side. Then Congressman Abante entered the room and sat on the far end chair on my right. One of the lawyers of Colonel Garma stood at my back.
Your Honor, I would stand by my statement
Okay,
in the
so
Senate
I would
under
understand.
oath, Your Honor, and I invoke my right for self-incrimination, Your Honor.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman. Point of order.
What is the point of
I don't see any reason why our guest keeps on invoking his right against self-incrimination when Deputy Speaker J.J. Suarez was not asking him anything incriminating. He was just merely reading a portion of his affidavit. So I don't like, Mr. Chair, that this committee, that our resource person may impress upon the public that we are here to corner him and to incriminate him. Please, tigilan mo yan. Hindi naman, Mr. Chair, it's not right to invoking self-incrimination when in fact DSJJ is not asking you any questions but merely reading his affidavit. Baka naman ng message na pinapakita, Mr. Chairman, sa publiko, inaanggulo natin siya dito. I'm sorry, Mr. Chair, but I have to manifest this. I think his invitation to the Senate was discussed about EJK and illegal drugs. And nowhere in his affidavit did he mention anything about illegal drugs and EJK. He did not share any inputs or his knowledge on illegal drugs. His participation in that Senate inquiry was merely to besmirch the reputation of some of the chairmen here. And as a result, attempting to degrade the integrity of the Quadcom. So please, I hate to admonish men in uniform. I have the highest respect for our policemen. But please, Colonel Grijaldo, stop invoking your right against self-incrimination. Nobody's asking you any incriminating questions here.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. I share the sentiment of Congressman Acop. If indeed the resource person cannot explain to this committee why he is invoking his right against self-incriminations in reply or in response to the questions raised by DSJJ Suarez, then I would agree that the gentleman is out of order, and perhaps do you have a lawyer with you, Colonel Grijaldo? Nandito, may abogado ka ba? Would you like?
Wala po, Your Honor.
Do you want us to provide you a lawyer?
No, Your Honor.
Because your lawyer or lawyers that we can provide you will assist you on telling you what your rights are in this committee hearing. So, gusto mo bang mag-provide kami ng abogado?
No, Your Honor.
So, you will answer and reply to the questions of the members. Now, DSJJ?
Yes, Mr. Chair, maybe another opportunity we can provide to the resource person. Colonel Grijaldo, kung kayo po ay hindi komportable, dahil nga maraming nanonood at nasa publiko po ang hearing na ito, would you want or would you request for an executive session so that you can divulge the details and the truthfulness to the affidavit that you executed in the Senate hearing?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. So, therefore, we can proceed, Mr. Chair.
Please proceed.
So, Colonel Grijaldo, matanong ko lang po, ano po ang nag-udyok sa'yo para i-execute tong affidavit na ito?
Just I have said, Your Honor, during my opening statement in the Senate, it was Tuesday. We have a hearing here on Tuesday, and we ended up on the Wednesday on the event of the Typhoon Christine. And as I have said, I go back to my home, and dinibdib ko po yung nangyari sa akin, Your Honor. And I never told this to my wife that time for 2 days. Until such time on the Friday, I was informed by the PIHAW that I'll be attending a Senate hearing. So, naisabi ko dun sa asawa ko, Your Honor. And nag-a-argue pa kami kasi ayaw niya. Ako kasi gusto ko na may sabi. And sabi ko, we have to go on a Sunday Mass, and we need wisdom for this para mabigyan din tayo ng lakas ng loob para ma-resolve natin sa tayo kasi tayo nag-aaway. Nagkakaproblema. Hindi na rin kami nag-aano nun eh. So on the Sunday, it was on the gospel. Sabi ko, pakinggan natin kung ano man yung masabi ng gospel sa atin that day. And it was a great enlightenment and a wisdom na binigay sa akin, Your Honor. The gospel said that it's not all about the crown, but it is about the cross. It is not about the honor, but it's about the sacrifice. It's not being the first, but being the last. It's not being the great, but being the servant. Sabi ko sa asawa ko, bakit naibigay sa atin to? We have to, and to sum up that, Your Honor, ang sinabi nung pare, sabi niya, it's not about the experience. Because yung experience kasi natin sa buhay, it may be good or bad. But it's all about the lesson learned that time, Your Honor. So I have that courage, and even my wife submitted to my decision. And on the next day, pumunta na po ako yun. Nandun po yun, nag-narrate, ginawa ko po yun, sinulat ko po yun. And it was on that mass that time that it is a Sunday for the PDLs. It was a Sunday for PDLs. Sabi ng pare, we have to give dun sa mga brothers natin na nakukulong. Hindi ko nga akalain na I would be the one also to experience that nung sinabi ng pare. So, that's all, Your Honor. That is all that happened, Your Honor.
Well, oftentimes we need experiences to encourage us and to push us to search for the truth. So I hope this hearing is one of those experiences for you, Colonel Grijaldo. Dahil ang layunin lang naman po natin dito ay hanapin gaano man kahirap ang katotohanan. Yun lang naman po ang hangarin natin. Wala nang iba. At kaya nga po yung dalawa po nating kinatawan na binanggit mo sa affidavit mo ay pansamantalang tumayo at umalis bilang chairman just to show that we are fair in handling this very sensitive issue. Because you made serious accusations in your affidavit, Colonel Grijaldo. And if indeed enlightenment has happened to you when you executed this affidavit, and you mentioned that you stand by your affidavit, so let's test whether or not it is the truth, Colonel Grijaldo.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
As I have said, I will stand by. I am humbled by my experience, Your Honor.
I'm
with
sure
this,
you're
Your Honor,
but Mr. Colonel Grijaldo,
I will stand by with my statement.
You have to
under
understand
oath
one
in
thing.
the Senate, Your
You have
Honor.
to understand
and I
one
would like
thing
to
lang po.
invoke my
One
right
thing lang po.
to self-incrimination, Your
Opo,
Honor.
but you have to understand one thing, Colonel Grijaldo. Okay lang po yun kung para sa'yo. Ang problema ho, ang dami mong dinamay eh. Kung para sa'yo lang yon, hindi sana natin gagawing issue to eh. Ngunit ang idinamay mo dito ay mga taong walang kinalaman o mga inosente. Paano naman po sila? Paano naman po yung mga karapatan nila? Paano naman po yung boses nila? Paano naman yung katotohanan nila? Hindi pa po natin sila pahahalagahan dahil panghahawakan lang natin yung sinabi mong enlightenment mo? But they have their own rights too, Colonel Grijaldo. So, Colonel Grijaldo, siguro wag na tayong paligoy-ligoy pa. With the permission of Mr. Chairman, Colonel Grijaldo, you made some serious accusations here. In fact, so serious that it was even carried by our media news for almost a week, 2 weeks. And because of your accusations, you've tarnished the very reputation and integrity of the committee and the House of Representatives. Things that I will not allow dahil ito pong posisyon na inuupuan namin, ay ito po ay posisyon ng tiwala na ipinagkaloob sa amin ng taong nagtitiwala sa amin. At kailanman hindi ako papayag na may mga tao na magdudungis at magtatapon ng kasinungalingan para sirain ang integridad ng trabaho ng House of Representatives at syempre ng komitibang ito. So Colonel Grijaldo, sinabi mo po dito sa inyong sinumpang salaysay that you were persuaded
Your Honor,
and you said ikaw naman, Colonel, ganito lang yan. Alangan namang walang insidente o mangyayari sa panahon na yon. I answered that I served as COP, Chief of Police in Mandaluyong during COVID-19 pandemic, and there were less crimes committed and we did not receive any reward from anyone. I added that we only received funds as additional MOOE support fund for the Peace and Order Fund of the LGU. But dito po sa earlier part, sinabi mo that you were persuaded. Is this true, Colonel Grijaldo?
Your Honor, I will stand by my statement in the Senate under oath, Your Honor, and I would like to invoke my right for self-incrimination, Your Honor.
That is out of order. Let it be of record that the statement made by this resource person is out of order. Please continue, Congressman Suarez.
Number 17, sinabi nyo dito, I then respectfully told Congressman Dan Fernandez that anyone can debunk my statement if I confirm the testimony of Colonel Garma about DDS in 1999. Since I was not a member of the PNP at that time and I have no knowledge as to the reward system. Additionally, I said that the work of policemen are noble that requires great sacrifice even without reward or award. It is our moral obligation and a call of duty to serve our country and our people. If I may continue, Colonel Grijaldo. At sinabi mo, Congressman Dan asked me, Colonel Garma, anong masabi mo sa kanya tungkol kay Barayuga? I politely told him I cannot comment on the case when I respectfully answered him, Sir, mahirap yan. Kasama kami sa nag-iimbestiga at hindi ko alam kung anong kinalaman niya at may investigasyon din kami. Baka ma-incriminate ako, sir. Tama po ba ito, Colonel Grijaldo?
Your Honor,
yes or no lang po,
I will stand by my statement in the Senate under oath, Your Honor, and I would like to invoke my right for self-incrimination, Your Honor.
Again, the resource person is out of order, and let it be of record that he is continuously disrespecting this committee. by refusing to answer appropriately to the questions propounded by the member. Alam mo, Colonel, if I may, DSJJ, binibigyan ka namin ng pagkakataon dito eh. Noong nasa Senado ka, ang tapang-tapang mo eh. Bakit dito ay mo magtapang ka rito? Ipakita mo yung the same candor, the same tapang na pinakita mo doon. Di ba? Bakit hindi mo gawin yan dito ngayon? Nagtatago ka sa likod ng right against self-incrimination eh. Tinatanong sa'yo, relevant question. Matapang ka lang doon sa Senado kasi may kakampi ka. Dito ka magpakita ng tapang mo. Hindi yung nandoon ka lang. Alam mo, ang mahirap kasi sa'yo, gusto lang nating malaman ang katotohanan sa likod nito. Ang dami mo ng ginawa eh. Dinamay mo pa yung mga kasama na, hindi dahil sa kasama namin sila, kundi hindi tama ang nangyari at ginawa mo. You are trying to besmirch the reputation of this committee. Itong committee ito, hindi ito gawa-gawa lamang. Ito'y pinapayagan ng ating saligang batas. Ito'y pinapayagan at pinayagan ng 300 mahigit na membro ng Kongreso na kung saan ay merong mandato ng taong bayan. Kaya wag mong bastusin ito. Yung tapang mo, nawawala eh. Tawagin mo yung kakampi mo. Ang hirap, alam mo, Colonel, nag-imbento ka ng kwento. And then you speak about honor. And then you speak about the gospel of that was given to you by a priest, talking about honor, and which, alam mo ba kung bakit mayroong honor? Pag hindi ka sinungaling, may honor ka. As simple as that. You're a police officer and you should have kasi, yun ang dito eh. Anyway, DSJJ, you can continue.
I totally understand the frustration of our chairman. In fact, it is the same place where I'm extracting my frustration from. No? Kasi nung Senate hearing, napanood ko yung binanggit mo, Colonel Grijaldo, at ako naman, araw-araw, hindi naman araw-araw, na tuwing magkakaroon ng Quadcom hearing, nandito ako. I make it a point I even come early. So, Colonel Grijaldo, you mentioned in your affidavit and even in the Senate hearing that you were coerced. Coerced by certain members of this committee. Totoo ba yun? Oo, hindi.
Your Honor, I would like to invoke my rights.
Hindi. It's a simple yes or no.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes or no? Yes or no? Yun lang po yun. Sabi mo, truth, di ba?
Your Honor,
Sabi
I would
mo,
like to invoke my right
diba?
to self-incrimination, Your
Diba
Honor.
sinabi mo, gospel truth, di ba? When you talk of God, there's only right and wrong. There's nothing in between. You want to talk about honor, Colonel Grijaldo? Kung gusto mo, Colonel Grijaldo, mag-usap tayo tungkol sa integridad ng isang tao, ang pagsabi ng katotohanan is the simplest way to show honor. Na hindi ka nagtatago at hindi ka nagsisinungaling. Kasi we're talking about serious issues here, Colonel Grijaldo. Isipin mo, mga EJK victims ang nandito. Libo-libong taong namatay nung panahon ng nakaraang administrasyon. Buhay ng Pilipino ang pinag-uusapan natin dito. So, Colonel Grijaldo, babalikan ko lang. Totoo ba? Oo, hindi. Na merong pumilit sa iyo na magsalita na hindi naaayon sa katotohanan dito sa Quadcom?
Your Honor, I would like to invoke my right for self-incrimination, Your Honor.
Mr. Chair, point of order.
What is the point of order, Congressman Ako?
The resource person has not answered my question a while ago, and he's still invoking his right against self-incrimination, which is improper. Even the Supreme Court decisions say so. You're just telling me your ignorance of the law. You cannot invoke your right against self-incrimination. Tell me if you have a criminal case against you regarding this issue. Galing ako sa serbisyo, iho, pero nakakahiya ka. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Pag ako na magtatanong,
Thank you.
sasagot ka. Dahil isasite kita in contempt again.
Thank you, Congressman
Sir Chair.
Ako.
Sir Chair, just a
I'm
quick
surprised why he became an officer. Yes,
just
are you
want
done?
to-
Are you done, DSJJ?
Just a last point lang, Mr. Chair, kay Colonel Grijaldo. Before Congressman Adjong, I know naman may good friend is very generous with his time. Colonel Grijaldo, sa maraming pagkakataon na inimbitahan ka ng Quadcom, pagkatapos mo magsalita sa Senate, hindi ka nagpakita. At ang dinadahilan mo ay meron kang left shoulder injury. Tama po ba yon?
Yes, Your Honor.
Was that incriminating, Colonel Grijaldo? Was that answer to your shoulder incriminating? Hindi naman, di ba? Ang dinadahilan nyo, kaya hindi kayo nakakadalo, dahil maya't maya po kayo ipinapasok sa Pasig Hospital dahil nag-undergo po kayo ng therapy sa inyong kaliwang balikat. Tama po ba yon, Colonel Grijaldo?
I have my left shoulder operation, Your Honor.
You have your...
Left shoulder operation, Your Honor.
So inopera din po kayo?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Tapos, Colonel Grijaldo, ang nakakapagtaka po, yung ilan sa mga pinadala nyo pong mga dahilan kung bakit hindi po kayo makakadalo ay nanggaling sa isang klinika na matatagpuan sa isang mall. Bakit hindi po orthopedic doctor ang nag-issue ng medical certificate ninyo kundi isang clinic na matatagpuan sa isang mall?
The doctor who operated me, Your Honor, is a professional, Your Honor.
I'm not asking you whether or not your doctor is a professional. I hope he's a professional.
Yes, Your Honor.
Because if he wasn't a professional, then may God be with you because he conducted surgery on you.
Yes, Your Honor.
So thank God he's a professional. But
Yes,
I'm not
Your Honor.
asking the qualifications of your surgeon. I'm asking kung sa sobrang laki ng dinadala mong problema sa inyong kaliwang balikat at kinailangan po itong operahan, bakit isang klinika sa isang mall ang nag-issue ng medical certificate mo at hindi isang orthopedic surgeon?
That is not a clinic, Your Honor. It is a hospital, Pasig Hospital, that responsible in giving the medical certificate, Your Honor.
I suggest, Colonel Grijaldo, you refresh your memory. Kasi yung isa sa mga una mong pinadala sa amin ay nung amin pong sinearch yung address, mall po ang location niya. So again, Colonel Grijaldo, I'm asking you, it's not too hard. Sasabi lang po kayo ng katotohanan. Kayo po ba nung panahon yun ay umiiwas dito dahil nakapagsalita kayo sa Senado? Colonel Grijaldo?
No, Your Honor, it is a necessary,
Kasi kung
Your Honor, to have my operation, Your Honor.
Kasi kung hindi
And
po
I
kayo...
am suffering a pain on that time, Your Honor.
Oh.
Because this happened during my cadetship, Your Honor. And during that time, there were no operation being conducted na nangyari at kumikirot po talaga to, Your Honor. And I have no reason to escape or to not going to this honorable Quadcom committee, Your Honor, because I was able to attend 4 Quadcom hearing, Your Honor, and I was already giving my statement, Your Honor.
Opo. Yes, you were attending. In fact, I would see you in the back. Kaya nga nagulat ako nung nakapagsalita ka ng mga hindi makatarungang mga statements at nakapagbitaw ka sa Senado nung nagkaroon ng hearing doon. Nagulat na lang po ako pagkatapos niyo po magsalita doon, bigla na lang po naging unavailable na kayo. Bigla na lang sumakit ang balikat ninyo. At bigla na lang kinailangan na maoperahan ang balikat ninyo.
May Your Honor, it will incur considerable amount, Your Honor, for the payment of the operation, and I'm still contemplating to find money for that operation, Your Honor. And I was been confined on that hospital. The option was given was to relieve the pain, was only to have therapy. And I asked the doctor for that period na hindi pa ako maka-attend na sabi ko, i-therapy lang muna, Doc. Then, kung makapag-produce na ako ng considerable amount for the payment of the operation,
alam mo, Colonel Grijaldo,
I will submit for an operation, Your Honor.
Kayo po ay isang police officer. Kung nandito lang sana si Congressman P.M. Varga, sasabihin niya po sa iyo, papakita niya yung 2 tornilyo niya sa balikat niya. At sinabi niya, pagkatapos po ng operahan siya at lagyan ng tornilyo sa balikat, kinabukasan nagtrabaho na po siya. Kaya yung sinasabi po ninyong konting dislocation at konting operation at naging dahilan para hindi po mag-attend sa mga Quadcom hearings, medyo nakakapagtaka po yun. So anyway, Mr. Chair, I would give my time and to the other interpellators, I would just like, Mr. Chair, to request na sana matapos na po natin itong topic ni Grijaldo and the 2 Kongs so that we can move forward with the other EJK issues. Because it's something that we need to resolve immediately so that we can benefit from the wisdom of Congressman Benny Abante as chairman and to whatever Congressman Dan Fernandez can contribute to Quadcom, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you, Congressman Suarez. The next to interpolate is Congressman Adyong. You have 10 minutes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. It will not take me 10 minutes to ask my question. In fact, this is a follow-up immediately after the question of Congressman Lord Dansuan. Just to zero in on the issue of why it took for the district police to create the Special Investigation Task Force. Kasi doon po yung nag-intriga sa akin. Tama po ba, I will not discuss anything about your affidavit, Colonel. Just want to ask you straight questions, and I hope you will not invoke your right against self-incrimination. Now, is it correct that when the Barayuga murder happened, that was during your time as the chief of the Mandaluyong City Police?
Yes, Your Honor.
And immediately after, when the murder took place, on the same day, you all immediately conducted an investigation. Is it correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And sino yung head ng investigative team na ito? Kasi parang hindi ho kayo, sabi niyo po sa committee ito ay hindi kayo yung directly na nag-imbestiga, but you rather form a team and you had assigned or delegated someone in your office or in your police district to handle the investigation. Tama po ba? Sino yun?
No, Your Honor. It is the duty investigation because we are on a duty basis, Your Honor. Every every day there is a duty investigator to be available in any incident happen to respond for that.
So makatuwid, you're in the office, you ordered, and there's a duty investigation, meaning sila yung nag-respond doon sa crime scene, sila yung nag-collect ng mga, kung ano man yung mga ebidensya na makokolekta nila. You mentioned also about CCTV, at sila yung gumawa ng report na yon at binigay sa'yo. Tama po ba?
Yes, Your Honor. It was the duty SDO, Your Honor, to make a report to the district, Your Honor, because we are on a hierarchy, Your Honor.
No. I'm asking you, Colonel, from the very start, gusto ko lang maintindihan yung regular process of investigation. So nangyari itong krimen, pak, pinatay. Nakita natin yung video,
Yes,
di ba?
sir.
May bumarel, may nga assailant unidentified, di ba? So, pumunta doon yung mga tao mo, sila yung nagkolekta, I don't know, pumunta ba ang SOCO, nagkolekta sila ng mga ebidensya, and then yung kinakolekt nila, nireport nila, sinubmit nila sa'yo. Tama ba yung aking pagkakaintindi yung proseso?
The spot report, Your Honor, is given to the duty SDO, Your Honor.
Okay, so the spot report, hindi pa
Immediately.
tapos yan, ha? Hindi pa conclusive, hindi ba?
Only relevant information, the 5W and 1H, Your Honor.
Oo. And
Then immediately it will be sent through to the operation of the district.
Not
unit.
directly to you?
No, Your Honor.
Why?
Because we have some delegated officer that time, Your Honor, responsible to send the report, Your Honor.
So in terms of hierarchy, Mr. Chair, just want to be clarified. In terms of hierarchy, you're the chief of Mandaluyong City Police.
Yes, Your Honor.
Before it reaches a much higher level, it has to go pass through your office, hindi ba?
Minsan kasi, Your Honor, pagka chief of police ka, Your Honor, you have to supervise only. There is a duty SDO and a duty investigator. So sila yung nag-aano po ng report, Your Honor, and they just inform me about the incident. But at that time, Your Honor, I was there also in the incident. So just to read on the report being submitted, to be submitted to the district level.
So do you mean to say that all of the murder cases that are being investigated ay nagka-create sila ng special investigation task force na diretso sila sa district na hindi na sila pupunta sa'yo? Is that what you're telling us?
Hindi naman lahat ng murder cases, Your Honor, nagkakaroon ng SITG.
What made the Barayuga case?
Because
did you request for the creation of special investigative task force? Because I don't medyo nahihirapan kong intindihin kasi kayo po yung police chief, hindi ba? So everything that happens in your territory or area of jurisdiction, it must pass through to you before it reaches a much higher level.
Yes,
Tama
Your
po.
Honor.
Is that,
yes, Your Honor.
Tama po yung aking
Yes, Your
pagkakaintindi. No. Itong Barayuga murder case, supposedly, ang frontline, of course, I give it to you. Ang pupunta talaga dyan ay yung mga unang magre-responde, mag-iimbestiga. Diba? Hindi naman natin necessarily ang police mismo, chief of police. Kasi sa laki ng area of jurisdiction mo, hindi naman lahat ng barangay dyan o kung saan mismo nangyari ang murder, halimbawa, yung crime of sin, pupuntahan mo, tama po yun, hindi naman kaya yun.
Yes,
That's why
Your
you have to delegate.
Yes.
Now, but before it reaches the level of, say, for example, district office, it must pass through to you. Di
Yes,
mo
Your
ba?
Honor. Yes,
Tama.
Your Honor.
So yun ang gusto ko maintindihan. Is this a regular occurrence? Like every murder case, meron ay nagka-create kayo ng special investigation task force?
May determination, Your Honor.
Okay, what are the determination? What made
involving
this Barayuga case so unique in a sense that it has to create a special investigation task force? Because, Mr. Chairman, to me, the impression is that parang it was taken from you, the investigation. So what made the Barayuga murder case a special case for the district level to take jurisdiction over the investigation of this case?
On our PNP manual, Your Honor, there is a qualification in order for a case to be or subjected to SITG. That time, it is a government official and a high profile yung naging victim ng crime.
Is it also part of the reason why the much higher hierarchy or office to take over doon sa mga cases of investigation when there's also say for example an allegation or anything na remiss o na overlook na hindi nila mabigyan or hindi i-allow or hindi i-continue yung isang mas mababang opisina kasi something about the investigation may be remiss. That's why a much superior or much higher office needs to take over. Di ba isa yun sa mga requirement o criteria na minimension mo?
Yung nangyari po, Your Honor, is kami lang sana dapat gumawa ng investigation. But pinalaki natin pinabroad natin yung mga magiging involved dun sa paggandak na investigation, kaya nagkaroon tayo na SITG. Hindi rin inalisan kami ng function dun sa We also a member of the SITG, Your Honor.
So what
Dinagdagan lang yung composition para mapabilis po yung pagkandak ng investigation, kasama na yung CIDG, para magkaroon ng consolidated effort na ma-resolve po yung kaso, Your Honor.
So what was your initial investigation, your report, before the Special Investigation Task Force was created? Did you have?
We submitted the investigation report that we have, initial investigation report and the progress report that we have to the district level, Your Honor, to the D7 or the District Investigation Detection Management Unit. Kasi sila na yung nagko-collate po ng lahat ng report coming from those members of the SITG. Kunyari, nakakuha sila ng report dun sa SOCO, isa-submit din ng SOCO yung report dun sa investigation, co-collate din, magka-come up ng nagmi-meeting ho yan, Your Honor.
Yeah,
Every time there will be a meeting. So, kung ano yung ng member, pag nung chairman ng SITG, he'll just, the Chief of Police, Colonel Grijaldo, you conduct to follow up on this matter. CIDG, you follow up on this. Then, every week, we have this meeting for us to sum up with to analyze on to assess on the reports that being gathered by different units in that time, Your Honor.
So, your initial investigation and your report, yung progress report, so I presume when you use the term progress, ibig sabihin, it's an evolving investigation, hindi ba? Your initial report, you submitted to the SITF, TG, I'm sorry. Was there any portion of your initial report that was changed?
No, Your Honor. It is approved initially by the IOC and the Chief Investigation at to my level. Then isasubmit namin yung report na nila na gather nila. Then it will be received properly by the IDM. Kung ano yung sinubmit, in toto po yun, Your Honor. Kung ano yung content ng yun din ang report na nandun sa kanila, Your Honor.
So the succeeding investigation as a follow-up complemented your initial report. Yun ba yung gusto niyong sabihin sa komite? That nothing was changed? Nothing was even improved on?
Hindi ho tayo immediately, Your Honor, na magkukulod kasi nga we could not file a case unless it is airtight,
No,
Your
before
Honor.
tayo mag-file, what I'm asking you is that your initial report that you have arrived at as a product and a result of your immediate investigation of the murder in the in the scene of the crime.
Yes, Your Honor.
Was there any portion of there that was improved or changed?
Hindi ho kami hindi namin binabago yung
No. I'm asking about kasi progress siya, di ba? So it could be mayroon bang na-amend? Okay, I'll use the word na lang na-amend or na-improve. Was there any portion of your report initial report that was probably changed because of a new evidence that corroborated this kind of angle, yung angling, ganito? Meron bang sa report ninyo na mas na-improve o na-amend ng Special Investigation Task Force?
It is the head of the SITG, Your Honor, to
No, I
improve.
know. I'm just asking you, yes or no. Was there? Na may nakita kayong portion na mas na-change yung tono or yung manner by which you were arrived a certain hindi naman conclusion kasi progress siya, pero kumbaga yung assessment ninyo before na nung nag-take over ang SITG, then kulang pa ito, then we will improve on this. Was there any portion of your initial report that was changed or amended?
On the station level, Your Honor.
Kasi progressive sabi mo, di ba? So it has to evolve, hindi ho ba? And for some portion, it has to change one way or the other kasi progressive report ito eh. It continues on. Was there any portion of your initial report that was changed or amended?
No, Your Honor, the term we're using, Your Honor, is the progress report in terms of the continuing investigation being conducted. Like, shall we say, on the progress report, we send personnel to gather the CCTV. Then we made that report as progress report. But it's not conclusive yet, Your Honor, unless otherwise it will be collated from different members of the SITG, Your Honor.
Yes. Mr. Chair, I'd like to know how long did the Special Investigation Task Force took effect?
It took effect immediately.
How long the duration of the investigation?
To have a resolution of the SITG, it needs 6 months, Your Honor. Then, if it is not been resolved, it will be turned over to the CIDG as a cold case, Your Honor.
So, six months itong ginawa, yung effectivity ng Special Investigation Task Force.
Yes, Your Honor. It was terminated after 6 months, Your Honor.
How long did you conduct the investigation from your level before the creation of the Special Investigation Task Force?
I think it takes 3 months on our station level, Your Honor. But it is continuing, Your Honor, because there is a IOC.
No. How long was your initial investigation operated from your level?
Until such time, Your Honor, na...
How long? Don't give me abstract answer. How long?
Your Honor, I'm not the IOC. I mean...
No, how long did... Kasi di ba, may initial investigation kayong ginawa before nag-special task, before nag-expand, di ba? Kasi naging task force na eh. Sabi mo, pumasok ng iba-ibang agency. How long did you first took jurisdiction of the investigation prior to the expansion of the investigative body? How long?
Your Honor, hindi naman kami tinanggal dun sa pagkandak na investigation.
I know, hindi kayo tinanggal.
But it was...
Yung kayo pa, yung wala pang other agencies na nag-investigate, how long? Kayo nag-imbestiga?
Continuous yung investigation namin, Your Honor.
Yes, before, nung wala pa yung mga agencies, before naging Special Investigation Task Force, kanina nagkaintindihan tayo, bago naging Special Investigation Task Force, may criteria yan. Hindi yan typical. Sabi mo, tinanong kita, is this a regular occurrence under police protocol investigation? Sabi mo, hindi naman. Kasi may mga, criteria yan for it to become a special investigation. Okay, I give you that. So pag special, may mga other agencies papasok din para mag-expand yung membership at saka para mas comprehensive yung investigative efforts ninyo. Tama ho ba? So
Yes,
before ho naging special yan, syempre, meron pang initial na stage. Yun yung office ninyo. Bago ho pumasok yung ibang agencies, ilang buwan po kayo, ilang weeks, o ilang taon kayo nag-imbestiga? Yun ang gusto kong malaman.
Your Honor, that time, it happens July 30. And on the next day, there was already a SITG on the July 31. May order po kaagad na...
Meron na order kaagad?
Yes, Your Honor.
Na kailangan mag-expand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, sige. Mr. Chair, gusto kong malaman, Mr. Chair, I'd like to ask our... meron pong report nitong SITG report. on the Barayuga murder case?
Yes, Your Honor. We have a spot report, Your Honor.
No, yung final.
Ah,
Progress report pa ba
There is
ito?
a resolution by the SITG turnover to the CIDG, Your Honor.
Okay. May we ask, Mr. Chair, may I confirm for our Secretariat if we do have that document, that report?
Comsec?
Yes, sir. We have a SITG report.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chair. On that note, Mr. Chair, I yield back my time, and again, perhaps I would ask further questions again also on this matter, para lang po mas mapabilis yung case ni nung Barayuga. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Congressman Adyong. The next to interpellate is Congresswoman Franz Castro.
Mr. Chair, wala pa akong tanong kay Colonel Grijaldo sa other resource
Yes,
person po.
they are all resource persons under the
Okay,
topic
so-
of extrajudicial killing. So,
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair.
we can still go back to Colonel Grijaldo later if you wish.
Mr. Chair, may tanong po ako kay Dr. Raquel Fortun related po doon sa mga several drug-related and activist-related EJK. So, Mr. Chair, Dr. Raquel Fortun, have you conducted autopsies to several drug-related and activist-related?
Drug-related, war on drugs?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. I had the
Tsaka-
opportunity to actually perform autopsies on around 20 cases.
Drug-related?
Drug-related, and then...
Activist-related?
Activist-related, yes, several.
Okay. What is the standard or regular procedure to be followed in conducting an autopsy?
In an ideal situation, it is defined which deaths have to undergo what we call a forensic autopsy. And definitely in the cases we're talking about, they're violent deaths. They have to be investigated. And that means the body at the scene, as it is discovered, has to be also preserved in terms of physical evidence. At the scene, where the body is located, how it is positioned, so much detail has to be noted. And then the body has to be carefully removed from the scene for a more detailed examination. And this is where the autopsy comes in. And when we do an autopsy, a forensic one, there is a very detailed external examination. There's a lot of documentation. We expect our findings to be questioned. There must be no issue regarding who is this person, so we address identity. Also, cause and manner of death, but this is better assessed when we next do internal examination. It really depends on the case. If you have a shooting victim, I would typically ask for x-rays, if only to make sure that there are bullets there or not.
Okay.
So it depends on the case.
So pag sinabi po nating forensic autopsy, very detailed autopsy, tama po ba?
Yes, ma'am.
In terms of manner of death and cause of death, etc.
The word forensic there means you have legal questions to address.
Okay.
And typically, you have to answer that there's no question, this is the person you are, the person is properly identified.
Okay.
What killed him, how did he die?
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Fortun. So did you conduct an autopsy on Ana Maris Chay Evangelista and her husband, and also her husband Ariel Evangelista and Manny Asuncion? Nag-autopsy po ba kayo?
Yes, ma'am. I did.
So these are victims of activist-related EJK known as Bloody Sunday Massacre. So for the records, what are your findings po dito sa mga autopsy nitong mag-asawa at saka kay Manny Asuncion?
Well, for the record, these individuals were part of what was called in media as the Bloody Sunday, because on this particular day there were 9 individuals killed, and I was able to actually examine all 9. They were brought to me in the UP College of Medicine morgue, and just to summarize, the cases were examined from March 9 to March 13.
Ito lang po, Dr. Fortune, sa mag-asawang evangelista po, tsaka kay Manny Asuncion. Ano po yung findings ninyo?
I have already released the report, and if the committee or the Quadcom is interested or does not have a copy yet, I can provide. Because the details are here, I will have to, like for instance, starting with Ana Marie Evangelista, in the autopsy report I issued, she sustained several gunshot wounds to the trunk, particularly in the chest area, 2, 1 in the abdomen, and there were internal injuries. This is the most severe. She also sustained through and through or perforating gunshot wounds of the upper extremity in the right hand and the left forearm. And also, she had what I called projectile injuries, or small fragments. Foreign bodies entered the lower extremities as well, and some other parts of the body. Now, this is best correlated with the scene. What are these fragments? Are they from concrete, bullets? I wouldn't know because I had no access to scene findings, just the body.
So, dun po ba sa autopsy, Dr. Fortune, nakikita natin yung, siyempre alam natin, yung mga sinasabi niyo po na mga details, like for example, kay Cha at saka kay do sa asawa niya po ay gunshot wounds. Ito, di ba? Mga gunshot wounds po yung mga nakita natin. So, na-determine dyan kung ano yung trajectory noong baril na, or yung bala na tumama doon sa isang body. So, malalaman natin kung malapit, binaril, or malayong binaril. Tama po ba?
When we say trajectory, this is the direction of the bullet as it entered the body. And this is actually descriptive. You're referring to a body standing upright, facing forward, palms forward. So it does not actually tell you how the individual was shot. Just by looking at the body, you have to address everything, like the scene findings, bullets, casings, blood spatter, totality of evidence. When you're asking about how far or how near the shot was fired, this is what we refer to as the muzzle to skin distance. And this is best assessed by looking at the entrance wound, because sometimes there are marks there, like smudging or soot, stippling, and so on. But again, in these cases, I had a lot of limitations. Like, for instance, they were all embalmed. And the embalmer would introduce changes, like the injuries, like the entrance wound would be sutured, and that would damage the features there. Another limitation is, these cases, I did not have access to all their clothes. Clothing should be part of the autopsy, and only some of them had their clothes on them. I think the spouses, Evangelista, Ana, and Mr. Evangelista had their clothes, but the others I did not. So what I'm saying is you have to make use of a lot of information. But if the bodies are not properly documented, preserved, and so on, that poses a lot of limitations.
Okay, yung so ano po yung pinaka findings niyo po doon sa mag-asawa? So yung pagbaril po ay too close, yung pagbaril doon sa nakandak ninyong autopsy?
Again, the details would be in the actual autopsy reports, but I don't think in any of the cases I was able to commit to range of fire or how far or how near the shots were fired at them. The most I could say were how many shots were fired, where, what parts of the body were injured, what could have been fatal.
So you have that in your report? Nandiyan po yun sa report ninyo?
Yes, ma'am. The details are in the reports.
Ma'am, Mr. Chair, may we ask Dr. Fortun to submit the autopsy report po? Can you submit?
Yes, ma'am, I can. I have PDF copies with me, electronic files, but if you want the actual signed copies, they're in my office.
Based po doon sa trajectory or yung direction, sabi niyo po nung bullet, sa dami po ba ng mga wounds, masasabi ba natin na intentional yung pagbaril o hindi?
Actually, all of the individuals I examined, all 9 of them, sustained multiple gunshot wounds, particularly in the chest, in the trunk.
O intentional yung pagpatay?
If you would consider the multiplicity, the number of shots, then that implies intent. And then I also identified injuries in the upper extremities, which in forensic pathology we would call defense-type injuries, because that means the individual instinctively tried to defend himself or herself.
Okay. Pag intentional po yung pagbaril, pagpatay, so that means, ito po ba ay to the head, to the heart, or some part po ng body?
I understand in my summary all the 9 individuals sustained gunshot wounds to the chest and abdomen, the trunk, where internal organ are.
Okay. Sa autopsy po ng PNP sa mag-asawang Evangelista, nakasaad po yung cause of death. So yung cause of death po, sabing ganon, ay, and I quote, gunshot wounds to the body. At walang nakasaad ng paano siya pinatay or manner of death. So tama po ba ito or sufficient na ito na explanation sa pagkamatay ng mag-asawa?
In the death certificates issued by the medical legal officer in Batangas, the statement is general. Like for instance, for Ariel Evangelista, it's perforating the heart and lungs, gunshot wounds to the body, firearm discharge. Actually, the statement is wrong. But anyway, this implies that he was shot in the body, which injured the heart and lungs. And, if you do an autopsy, you can better explain what injuries were sustained. Like, same case, Mr. Evangelista,